95 of them have died since 9/11. We mourn for the 5,000 American troops that have lost their lives in Iraq and Afghanistan since 9/11, my son included. But every damn day in this world, 12 9/11s happen. 36,000 children died of starvation, poverty, and disease. You know, and that was on 9/11/2001. It's today. It's every 9/11.
That's the one we let get more.
It was yesterday. It was tomorrow. Every day, 36,000 children die. And why isn't that analyzed? They die mostly because of the U.S. empire. So, they die because of economic sanctions, because of the World Bank, because of the International Monetary Fund, because there's 1,000 bases around this world that are poisoning the area. We have our brothers and sisters are poisoned from 9/11. We still have people dying from Agent Orange in Vietnam. Vietnam vets. The people of Vietnam. We still have people dying from the results of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. We still have people dying. We have people dying from depleted uranium, being born with birth defects. From not just Iraq and Afghanistan, from Bosnia, from those places. People are being poisoned and starved by what I call the robber class. So we have to analyze why we were invaded or whatever happened that day. There were legitimate gripes. You know, there are bases on other people's soil. The usurpation of the world's resources by the United States of America. So no matter who we think did it or what happened, people have a legitimate right to be angry with us. I'm angry with us. You know, so that's what we have to work on. Russ Baker says, and I agree, that the presidents of the United States are under a lot of pressure. You know, I'm sure I have this vision of their first day in office, the CIA coming over and showing them over and over and over again the Zapruder film. And so they have, you know, they do. I don't think they're in charge. The presidents of the United States aren't in charge. However, if that's true for Obama, that was true for George Bush, too. But I know that Obama knew that. How could you not know it? How can you be so stupid to seek an office that you didn't know the pressures that you would be under for true change? So what does that tell us? What does that tell us if the President of the United States has no legitimate power because he's afraid? He's afraid for his life. He's afraid for his children's lives. He's afraid for his family's lives. Well, one thing about George Bush, of course, is that his family is part of this worldwide cabal, you know, of criminals. So, and Obama, you know, I'm not an Obama supporter. I never was. I didn't vote for him. I voted for Cynthia McKinney, but something like that. She'll never achieve that office because she hasn't sold out. She can't be bought. You know, so there's a synergy going on. So that tells us that our government and all of the whole robber class, ruling class, whatever you want to call them, collaborate and work together to oppress us, to take away our rights, to steal our money, to steal our children, to literally kill us. And all I know, since Obama's been president, the United Police States of America have gotten even worse than when George Bush was president. Being down in Venezuela, I know the policies of the U.S. government towards South America, especially that Caribbean region, have gotten worse. You know, sending all those troops to Haiti sure wasn't for humanitarian aid, because they blocked humanitarian aid from getting there. It's to position ourselves in that region, because it's becoming more and more apparent that Venezuela has more oil than we ever thought they had. So I know that Afghanistan has gotten worse, and I have to disagree with my brother who spoke. I don't believe that we ever should have invaded Afghanistan. Because I don't believe that whatever happened on 9/11 was an act of war. And so you don't go in and invade other countries. And since Afghanistan, since we invaded Afghanistan, they estimate that at least 60,000 innocent people have been killed. So that's 20 9/11s. And you know, if they say 60,000, who, you know, God knows how many people actually have been murdered. So I believe that we could have had, if 9/11, you know, if they wanted to do it in a way that wouldn't cause the deaths of more innocent billions, it would have been prosecuted as a crime instead of as an act of war. So since Obama's been president, he's tripled the troop strength of George Bush. And we know 2009 was the worst year for our troops and the people of Afghanistan. And not only that, but they're using the CIA to use drones to bomb Pakistan. And 100 civilians are killed to every suspected terrorist. And you get that suspected terrorist? So the CIA has become the judge, jury, and executioner. They don't even try to hide anymore. They're just right out in the open about everything. Obama has given himself the power to execute U.S. citizens outside the country if they're suspected terrorists. And you know what disturbs me about that more than just being, I thought, wow, I'm going to have a Hellfire missile drop on my head when I'm in Venezuela or Uruguay. But what bothers me more than the policy is that I saw a report, it was a reporter asking people, what do you think about this? What do you think about this policy that the president can be judge, jury, and executioner of people, U.S. citizens outside of the United States? You know what 4 out of 5 of the people said? Well, if the government says they need to be killed, I guess they need to be killed. What? What? That goes against everything. Every human and civil right that we were supposedly brought up on. So, if the president can't be the agent of change, then why the hell do we still think, why do we vote for president in the first place? You know, it's like the Ayatollahs in Iran. The robber class, Wall Street, the bankers, the military-industrial complex, they're like the Ayatollahs that pick our candidates for us. You know, we get Goldman Sachs candidate A or Goldman Sachs candidate B. And in 2008, I want you to guess which candidate got more money from Goldman Sachs. Barack Obama. So we go and we don't vote for our choices. You know, if we voted for the choice of the people, I believe it would have been Dennis Kucinich running against Ron Paul.